It truly is the end of an era. With the online servers dead, both the 3DS and the Wii U can only survive with what they currently have. Honestly, it's impressive they lasted this long, and I'd like to know why. Was it some kind of contractual obligation, or did they lose a bet? When the Wii online servers died, I wanted to get whatever kind of online footage I could to help remember what they were like. And now it's for two systems! And recording footage for the 3DS was very uncomfortable, and I really wish I had a 3DS capture card. Thankfully, I did get enough footage to at least show off these modes. I thought I would at least show what the last few days were like, any stories to share, and heck with it. Let's make a tier list of how much the online shutdown will hurt those games. Let's begin. Getting the Mario Kart games out of the way, there were some people wanting to relive the old days on both 7 and 8. This was a mixture of both friends and random players, and with the exception of Mario Kart 8's battle mode, there were plenty of players. Only one person was, quote, willing, unquote, to join me in the battle mode to help remind me why no one plays this mode. Battling on the race courses. This will not be missed. Meanwhile, the battle mode in 7 and racing in both versions, they were fun, but with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still running, there's still a way to play Mario Kart Online for the time being. If the games were drastically different, then you could argue we lost some variety, but the difference between versions feels very minuscule, especially in terms of controls. To clarify, yes, it is sad to see the online shut down, as they were solid, but it's not like we don't have substitutions, so into that category for the both of you. Sonic Generations and Lost Worlds 3DS Online modes, on the other hand, were flawed from the beginning. I didn't have enough time to see if there were any random players in these matches, so friendlies would be just fine for this. Both of them are basically race to the finish, and if I'm remembering this right, you can't really interfere with the other player. So it comes down to whoever has a better memorization of the stages wins. You can't attack, obstruct, slow down, nothing! The other thing to note is that there are black holes all over the place in Generations. Make contact and forget about going anywhere for a while. There are even these special stages you can compete in, which is just a little neat side note. And that's really all there is. You don't even see the opponent. It's just the emblem icon as a stand-in. Lost World, on the other hand, has transparent opponents, and you can have up to 4 of them, and the frame rate looks even better! But it also suffers from the same issue of you exist on different planes of reality. Unless there was something I was missing. There is a battle mode here that does allow you to attack each other, and the Wisp power-ups certainly help with that, so it at least has that over Generations. And sadly, I feel that these games miss the marks when it comes to making compelling and addictive multiplayer. Honestly, I forgot these games actually had online modes to begin with, and even though you can play them offline, there are far better multiplayer games out there, so I'm not really gonna miss them. Now let's change to something that feels like it had some lost value. Pokemon X, Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Sun and Moon, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So many features are gone! I've done enough battling online before, so I'm focusing on the other stuff. Wonder Trade! And just for the heck of it, I Wonder Traded a Deoxys! I've replayed Omega Ruby a couple of times, and I'll probably do another file. But I just wanted to be one of those guys who lets someone out there have a story to tell. But it was mostly for the lulz. Then there's the GTS, and my goodness, there are some hacked Pokemon out there! Followed by this poor fella asking for a Bulbasaur before it ended, which I was able to help fulfill. The 7th gen games, on the other hand, I wanted to get some footage of the Festival Plaza, at least the missions. I didn't have much time, but at least one person in the whole world actually joined me on one for one last time. While a number of these features are still usable offline, things like the GTS getting shut down really stings, despite the hacks. Yes, it's trading, but it's the most convenient and quickest way to get a Pokemon you want. Or at least it was before people wanted legendaries for everything. And the Wonder Trades. Even though you would get garbage, it was still kind of fun to Wonder Trade a bunch of rare Pokemon you hatched from eggs that didn't have good IVs. Quick side note, Pokmon Tournament. I'm a button masher at traditional fighting games, and that's really all there is to do in this game, even for the online mode. Plus, there's a Switch port, so we're gonna be okay. Smash 3DS and Smash Wii U. While I'm positive there were random players out there, playing free-for-all needs to be with friends. I wasn't gonna risk running into people just spamming the taunt button. That can be coordinated. We only lose a few stages when it comes to these two titles, but the jank in these games is on a whole nother level. It's the kind where you could lose to some stupid random bullcrap, but it's so hilarious you can't help but laugh. Just look at this! The Ridley boss got fared so hard he went through the platform! With Ultimate still going, this doesn't feel like a huge loss, and once again, these modes can be played offline. While WiiU had a better online setup with 4 Fun and 4 Glory, and how the tournaments were every day, the arena setups in Ultimate are near perfection. It served its time, but Ultimate is still going. Now this one kinda hurts. Yes, you can still do the battle mode in Kid Icarus Uprising wirelessly, but there is no successor or port of this game, and now no one really carries around a 3DS copy of the game and the 3DS stand to make it likely we can play this wirelessly with enough people. Sakurai's not the only one who wants to see this game return, and that would definitely help, as it does feel like we've lost something here. And if you didn't unlock the online stuff for the panels, hope you have enough feathers. I forgot Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon actually had online multiplayer. Decided just for the heck of it to play it with some friends online, but with the third game and even a port of this game coming to the Switch, I'm not losing any sleep over it. Rayman Legends. Remember those daily challenges? Well, I wasn't sure what was gonna happen, so I did them, and there was no one around. Easiest diamond trophies of my life! Also, the only ones I was able to get in this game. When the servers went down, so did the daily challenges, along with your records. Granted, this is also the same for many online modes, but that just became another reminder that this was important to record and preserve what was there. I don't know if these are still being continued on the Switch or Series X, but I still remember getting the challenge app and doing these every day until the game came out. So even if I can get this back on another console, I don't think it'll ever have as many people playing it as it did back then. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. I didn't even bother trying it out before the servers retired, as I actually have this for the Series X. That is still going on. So, this is no big deal. And if you're asking why I care more about Rayman Legends being shut down than I do for Sonic Racing T, it's because I had a lot more memories of doing the daily challenges while waiting for the game to come out, and even after the game came out, I would still do them. Whereas with Sonic Racing T, I think I did the online only a couple of times, and then after that, it was really hard to find somebody to play online. Even on the Series X, I still can't find someone. So it's really just more of the time spent and the memories that I put into Rayman Legends. And just for a laugh, I went into the lobbies of Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. I expected no one to be there, and I wasn't disappointed. While I don't know if these modes are there for the other systems, I don't recall if I was ever in a full lobby of this game before. Xenoblade Chronicles X, and this was my first time doing the online co-op missions. The game can be quite confusing to me sometimes, so I was always worried I wouldn't be at a high enough level or know what to do and would drag my team down. So, after finally trying it with a friend, what was the experience like? In all honesty, it felt like I was just waiting around for the mission to start, and then when the mission started, it was completed before I even knew what we were doing. Now, that's a very unfair assessment of the game, but like I said, this was just my first time. I'm sure there was a lot more to do, so I'm just going to be generous and give it the benefit of the doubt that we actually lost something here. And another online mode I was too afraid to try out until the last minute. Starfox Guard allowed you to play against other players' attack setups, allowing you to raise your rank, level, and earn new abilities and gadgets. You can still level up offline, but after a while it might get old. This became a bit more addictive than I expected, so why did I wait until now? It was that stupid fear of losing a lot in a game I like, or having it shown around that I lost badly online. I've come to accept that I'm gonna lose, and probably badly sometimes, but I can still make some really good plays. Sad thing is, while I still hope Zero can be ported with better controls, more missions, and online functionality, I don't know if they can port this one unless you can only play it in handheld mode, as the touchscreen is the best way to play it. Otherwise, switching between so many screens would take too much time. Not a lot of people really gave this a shot, but we definitely lost something here. Super Mario Maker. This is a bit odd. I can't remember if it always took this long to load, or if it was just my connection giving me an issue. Downloading stages took way longer than it should, and trying to find those fun bouncy stages, I wish I knew how to find them. It used to be so easy. What happened? I tried to download as many stages as I could, while avoiding the impossible ones. 'Cause yep, those will never come back. In theory, you can remake those stages on your own, but how much time would that take? We lost billions of stages, so even though Mario Maker 2 is still alive, the amount of content that basically became lost media can be disheartening. And finally, I wanted to spend the last hours playing Splatoon 1, as this game basically lived and died by its online mode. As I expected, there were a lot of people wanting to relive this game one more time. I had no trouble finding any matches, and I was reminded of those little minigames on the gamepad. It was such a nice touch, I miss that. I did encounter 2 hacked matches though. One where a single shot could cover an entire area, so the only thing we could do was have a squid party because they couldn't fight back, and fighting opponents who can't fight, there's no excitement or thrill in that. And the other, photosensitivity warning, they hacked us into our ranked battle mode that wasn't in rotation with a map that wasn't in rotation, and the colors really hurt to look at. And I think the ink was turned into something else, and I'm not going into any more details on that. While the minutes were counting down, I was curious. When the time for the online went down, what was going to happen? Would they just disconnect everyone? Would they actually wait for the match to end? Would it have a failsafe map rotation to kick us out? Or would it just keep going until there weren't enough players to start a match? This was history in the making, and I wanted to know the outcome. When the shutdown happened, we were still going. That answered one question, but a theoretical map rotation wouldn't happen for another 2 hours or so. So I played for another 2 hours or so. I can honestly say I've had my fill of Splatoon 1 now. Finally, the time came. We finished our match and there was actually a failsafe map rotation. And that was it. No more online matches. No more news from Callie and Marie. And you can't even buy new gear or clothes ever again. This game lost so much. And even though we have 2 sequels on the Switch, this was the first one in a brand new IP. It's special in that regard. Yeah, it still has the offline multiplayer, which, why would you play that? And the campaign, which is fine, but it can only last for so long. This game, to me, had the most to lose, as there's basically no reason to play it anymore. Sure, Super Mario Maker lost billions of stages, but you can at least recreate them. You still have the main appeal of Mario Maker, which is making Mario stages. But the main appeal of Splatoon 1, the online mode, is gone. And there we go. These were the games I played or tried on the last few days of the 3DS and Wii U online servers, and how much it hurt to lose them. Yes, I know there's a fan server known as Pretendo, but only for some servers for games, and honestly, I made peace with this happening. I also have to give credit where it's due. The online for these games were super smooth, with the exception of a few rounds of Pokmon Tournament with another friend, and the long load times in Mario Maker. These were the best internet connections I've ever had with these systems. I'm not kidding, I don't recall feeling any lag, especially in Smash. I don't know if it's just because there weren't as many people as there were before, so the bandwidth was better, or the internet providers really improved over all these years, but it makes me wish the Switch's online performance could be as good as this. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I experienced on those last few days. And while the 3DS and Wii U have just the tiniest bit of relevancy left, I want to get some videos done that I've been wanting to do for a while now. The list for my 10 favorite 3DS games, and the Wii U Catch-Up Send-Off Marathon. Yeah, I never forgot about that, but there's going to be some changes to it. I'll go into more detail on it when the video is out. There will still be some other videos coming out in the meantime, so while I get to work on them, tell me in the comments, did you play any 3DS or Wii U games before the shutdown? Which games losing their online modes hurt the most for you? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'd like to give a special thanks for those who were able to join me in the online matches, like Revolution, Jeffrey Roth, Lucario Smash 246, Keyblade Overlord, Alexis Warrior, Sai Power, Smash Mario Pro 2000 and his brother, Vion, and even those who I haven't seen in years like Lily Blue in a random match in Splatoon. And with all that said, I'll see you guys in another video. Later, everyone!